Jabroni Studios, in association with Big Herm Productions, is proud to present to you, recording from an undisclosed location in Oakdale, Connecticut. It's Chris Burns. It's Chris Lynch. This is Dysfunction Junction.
Welcome back, kids, to the award-winning podcast that has never won a goddamn thing ever in the history of ever.
Fucking thing.
We gotta change that.
But do we have some fun for you this week? Welcome back to
Yeah,
Dysfunction Junction.
Yes.
Back to live streaming together.
Did we forget the line? Seriously.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
Much better. My name is Chris Burns.
Sorry, I got a lot on my plate right now, my man.
Understood.
It's a big ass plate too.
The ASMR master immediately to the other side of my screen is the one and only
Christopher Lynch.
The
Christopher
ass
Lynch.
master heard.
Ass master.
We're gonna leave the ass master part out of it for now.
I'm a master.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Two times
Heard,
master
like,
debater.
Is that like Mister? Is
Yeah,
I don't
master.
what
This is exactly why we
this
can't
is
have
why
nice
we
things.
can't have nice things, ladies and
And
gentlemen.
And
My
of
cover
course,
version of Kyrie drops tomorrow.
oh my lord, carry a laser down
Carry
that
a
road.
laser down a road that you must travel. Come on, it
And
makes sense, bitch.
Please welcome our esteemed producer from the home office in Pupo, Colorado.
All the way
He is
over
none
there.
other than Michael P.S. Herman,
What
the
is
Big
up,
Herm.
everybody? How is everybody out there doing?
We are okay. Guys, we have to explain our absence just a little bit. As you know, in
It
August.
was my fault once again.
No, it was not your fault. Herm was making the transition, not to man to woman, but from Connecticut to Colorado, stemming from the death of his mom. He came home a weekend ago.
I came home on the
Fill him
25th.
in, please. Yes.
I came home on the 25th, or Tuesday. I got into the airport at Logan, spoke to my dad, called him on Wednesday, spoke to him Wednesday night, said, I'll talk to you tomorrow, because it was Thursday, and it's usually, he's hooked up onto my Prime account, so he gets the football game that not everybody else gets, and he thought that was really cool. And Thursday night, the 27th, the phone rang about 7:45 my time, which would be about 5:45, about 45 minutes after the broadcast or the game started. The phone rang, and I figured, that's Pop. He's calling to talk about football, and it was my aunt, and he had passed. So he passed before I could get home and make the move and get back to see him. So, and then on top of that, thank you, Willem Shelley. Thank you very much. On top of that, we had the roaster on Saturday, and Jen's mom passed away on Sunday. So my wife. So we've kind of had a rough go of it. So we packed up really quick and got out here. The trip was safe. We made the trip safe. Everybody, the dogs, my wife, the snake, all of our shit made it out here unscathed. Just really kind of difficult, a lot going on. I'm the executor, so I have to come back and handle everything with the estate. And my parents did rather well, and they were the grasshopper. They were the ant and not the grasshopper. So there's quite a bit for me to handle as far as like an actual estate. It's not just, you can have the stuff in their house and they're out of here. There's kind of a lot. So that, especially that I have to do correctly to legally close out and make sure that nobody owes them or they don't owe anybody and it's free and clear,
Right.
So I got to make sure I do this right by my parents.
You would ask the other day on Facebook, definitely hire a probate lawyer.
Yeah, I'm waiting for. I sent a couple of messages out. I'm waiting for somebody to get a hold of me back. I'm started some other things too. Like I'm trying to get the solar panels on the roof.
Right.
I want to just pay them all off because they were financing them for a stupidly low rate. So, Chris, you are banned from the show.
No. I'm banning William from the show.
No, I know. I saw it.
This isn't the racing show. I can say suck a dick sideways on this show, but I
that's
won't
right.
because William's
right.
a good dude. William's a good cat.
But yeah, so there's a lot going on, and cleaning out. We never really got to cleaning out after mom. I was dealing with trying to take care of dad. So
Yeah.
there's a lot to go through. I mean, a lot.
Yeah. My mom was the executor to my dad's aunt's estate. And because she was a vegetable, she had 2 strokes, and so my mom took care of her doctors and paid the bills.
So she could have ran for office in Pennsylvania.
Probably. So my mom ended up having to take care of it. And the probate is not fast. There's nothing expedient about it.
No, there isn't. However, what I do have is what I do have in regards to probate is concerned is the will is double signed, 2 witnesses. It's an uncontestable will.
Right.
I contest that right now.
The way that we did it, and I am the sole beneficiary.
Right.
So
that makes it a lot easier.
Right. And the trick, the closer is my sister is one of the witnesses. So she was there when this all went down, and it was read back, and this is how it goes down. So if at any point somebody tries to pull anything, it's a case of ma'am, you're on the paper. You signed it.
Is this your signature?
Right. Is this your signature? Is this your legal signature right here?
Right.
Bye-bye.
I was under duress. No, you weren't.
Yeah, no, you weren't.
not.
And I even
I
talked to the bank manager. I said, if I have any issues, what do I do? She's like, you just subpoena me, and I come in and tell them everything was fine and nobody pissed him off. So there it is. I went right to the bank vice president, and I just deal with her now. So fuck it.
Yeah.
There you go, my man.
But yeah, like little things like when mom passed away, we got like a couple of copies of death certificate for this, because everything, I'm gonna have to close everything out, because when mom passed, everything transferred to dad, and then he died before everything got transferred to him officially. So everybody and their brother is gonna need a copy of the fucking death certificate on this.
Yeah.
So I literally bought like 6.
The Kinko's.
Like certified. I spent like $200 in copies of death certificates just so I can close out the estate correctly, and still have 1 or 2 if I need it for paperwork.
Right. Good call by you, by the way. Making sure you got all your ducks in a row.
You have to, because if there's anything in that will that is either not very specifically designed and described, I mean, somebody can tear it apart. And
yeah, it basically states I get the real, it covers real estate. I get that.
Yep.
That which includes, it covers real estate, and then it includes everything else, the contents and other lifelong possessions, which includes vehicles and everything in the house. So
right.
As well as money on bank accounts and all of that. So
you don't need none of that money. Send it to at Chris Burns 19 on Venmo. You'll be good.
Just put the whole estate in a Cash App card and call it good.
Right?
And call Bidrin back in India.
Right?
And he's
that Nigerian prince. I don't need your shit anymore.
He's right. In Kolkata.
I got my own money now.
Well, you've been on our minds. A lot of people were asking originally what had happened. I appreciate
everybody who had asked and checked in.
Because we recorded that Monday. Herm came into town on Tuesday, and his plan was by Wednesday or Thursday, to drop the recorded episode. Unfortunately, life had other designs. And I did tell everybody,
Yeah, I mean, I even planned on doing the Monday show from the truck.
Right. That was a call that after the news of Jennifer's mom.
Yeah.
That was an executive. That was like, no, I'm throwing a flag. I can't.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way.
Yeah, you were like, yeah, and totally and totally appreciated, and totally a classy move. But
it's the first time I've been accused of being classy.
But yeah, so I mean, I've had a rough week, but a good week per se. Things are not going crazy, but yeah, it is good to be back.
It was good to hear from you.
Yeah, because when I heard about your wife's mom, I was like, "Are you fucking serious? Can this family get at least 1 break for the rest?"
Yeah,
of the
like
year?
we're in the middle of moving. We're on a fucking time schedule, and Sunday morning, Jen's like, "My mom just died. Nobody knows how nobody knows what to do. So Jen had to go over and handle the removal of the removal of the body and all of that. Which, you know, we got here and I had to do the same thing. I had to go Friday morning to go see my father. I had to go to the funeral home and see Dad. So say goodbye. He looks good. They did a very good job with him. I mean, we're not doing an open casket wake or anything, but I needed to see him and talk to him. So really nice funeral home here, Romero Funeral Home. They've done a lot of business within my family. So really, really classy people. And if Angelo ever hears this, thank you, sir. You're a hell of a guy. But yeah, he looked good. They did a real good job, even though we were just embalming him. They did a really good job. He looked good.
And I'm kind of, you know, all the people that reached out throughout the week on the dysfunction page, on the personal pages, even some of you guys now, William Shelley, John Taylor, expressing, you know, hey, sorry for your loss.
Everybody, thank you.
Loss says
guys.
they're plural, unfortunately, and
yeah, it's like a lot for me. It's like a triple whammy plus Jen's mom. It's my mom, my dog, and my dad all in a month and a half. It's just, you know,
it's about time you get some sunshine in your life. And I'm not saying I'm going to provide it, but we threw a flag. We took a vote, and instead of doing this at the back end of the show, we're going to do it at the front end of the show. And Herm's going to get the button ready. You let me know when you're ready, sir.
I'm going to get the button ready. I am ready.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, each of us has a nominee for Asshole of the Week.
How does it feel to be a real asshole?
Yes.
All right. Well, Herm, it's been a rough week for you. Why don't you lead off Asshole of the Week with your nominee?
All right. My nominee for the Asshole of the Week is the entire fucking state of Kansas.
I gotta hear this.
Normally in Kansas, the wind runs. I was going west. All right. So actually, for the people at home, I was going west. So it looks like I'm going west. I was going west, and normally the wind comes up. Okay, because Kansas is about a 6.5 hour drive, about 5-6 hours. When you're doing it at like 75. I was in a truck that was extremely packed. So as I'm going across, instead of normally the winds just run south to north in Kansas. They just come up and go across. I ran into, I'm going across, so it would be here. I'm going across, and I ran into winds that were approaching like this. So that big front flat of the truck was like a sail. So for most of Kansas, unless a fucking semi was trying to pass me, couldn't really get the truck above 55 miles an hour. And when a big truck would pass me, like they were going around me because I was too slow, as soon as they were in a position where they blocked the wind just enough, my truck would speed up. So now these guys think I'm fucking with them because they're trying to pass me, and now my truck's trucking right up. It's going. Yeah, and then as soon as they so now I have to let off the gas so you know what, Kansas, you're an asshole. You can go fuck yourself.
Wow.
Mrs. Herm
you
says,
say
wow.
Kansas.
You tell them,
you can hear that clear as a bell.
That whole fucking state.
I have a request, and you're gonna have to deliver it for me, Herm. One more time, Jennifer, for the people in the back.
One more time for the people in the back, babe.
That's my girl.
Atta girl.
One of my favorite human beings on earth right there, Jennifer Herman, Mrs. Herm, whatever you want to call her. She married you, so I don't know if I can call her stupid, but you're a good guy, so she can't be that stupid.
We do all right. We do all right together.
You got your moments. All right, Lynch, it's a toss-up. You want to go first or second? All right, second. Here comes Lynch's Asshole of the Week.
All right, so in our absence, I no longer work as a private investigator.
Oh, I know where this
So-
is going. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So I started doing Uber and Lyft. Been doing pretty good, Friday, Saturday, Sunday this weekend. I made 2 paychecks in a weekend. Can't complain. And I'm going to keep doing this throughout the week and especially on the weekends. Driving Uber has made me realize just how much of an asshole most people who use that service are.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. All right. So Friday afternoon, I went out from like noon to 6 and came home, had dinner. I went back out for the evening shift because that's where you make your money. The first couple of fares are quick and cheap. They're not really expensive fares, but it's counting towards me unlocking other things that give me more money. I go to pick up someone in downtown Norwich who obviously needed to go. I want to say they wanted to go to work. Pick them up, start heading towards their original first destination, which was Foxwoods. Okay, I'm in the right direction. Halfway to Foxwoods, they change they unplug the pin.
While they're in your car, they go into the app and change their destination.
I'm halfway to Foxwoods. They drop it at Mohegan Sun.
What?
I'm halfway to Foxwoods. I get off Route 2. I pull over. And I say, "You get out of my car." How come? We can't. We have nowhere else to get to Mohegan. I'm like, it's not my fucking problem. I'm canceling the trip. Get the fuck out of my car. So they did, and had to request an Uber or a Lyft. And I was like, "Oh, you're a fucking asshole. Say something to me. I'm not sure where I'm going. If I describe it to you, can you figure out what I'm?
Yeah,
I at
like,
least expect that.
Don't
Don't fucking change it in the middle of the ride.
I
And these
did-
fucking asshole cunt millennials that get in my car and keep smoking their cigarette. Fuck you. This is not your living room. This is not your car. No smoking. No smoking.
Now,
no baking,
see,
no
I did the
eating meat, fucking greasy meaty sandwiches in the back of my car. None of that shit.
I did the Uber thing, and I used to go up on Thursday nights to Yukon.
That's a great place.
That
Good
Yukon,
place.
and because they do the nickel nights, and you can the drive up there and back is a little longer. But ooh, that was nice. Did you adjust your light?
No, I moved.
Oh, whatever it did, there it is. It must be self-adjusting your camera. But yeah, it was great. It was dudes, and it was and drunk chicks, and and it was hilarious because I was older, and it's either it was, for me, I had the van, so it was vans full of drunk chicks that either didn't or had almost got laid, and the same thing with the dudes. It was never like a huge mix of like everybody getting laid. It was literally like just carloads of drunk disappointment.
You could smell the disappointment
But
in the air.
they were drunk and they tipped really fucking well, so they were
Oh,
just
Well, that's a
happy.
plus.
I got to tell you, those are the guys that have tipped me really well in the last couple rides. They tipped me almost my fare.
And
as
they were
a
really
gratuity.
good. Like they would ask, nobody lit up because I didn't smoke, but I allowed vaping in the car.
Yeah.
But and surprisingly, the whole college people up there, they were really good about asking, hey, do you mind if we vape? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were pretty respectful for a normal group of people that are assholes.
Yeah. They weren't the expectation or the norm.
Yeah, no, it was the middle-aged people that were assholes.
Right now, it's the younger
It
kids.
was the
but-
carloads of
but it
people that I picked up at the seaport after a fucking event that were lit, that were complete douchebags.
Yeah.
Wow.
That concert at Mohegan Sun this weekend, I was back and forth between Mohegan Foxwoods and all the local hotels. There was a period from 10 p.m. on Friday night until 2. I never stopped. And I made really good money.
Dollar bill, y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see,
But-
then there's
so my
then there's
asshole
the
will
crazy
be-
one. Who's your asshole?
The fucking the rude Uber driver, rider. That's my asshole of the week. Don't
Okay.
change your mind in the middle of the ride.
I feel like mine's gonna fall flat now.
So not just a specific person, an entire demographic.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
A very
All right. I'm good
specific
with that.
demographic.
Okay, you used an entire state. Why can't he use an entire demographic?
Well, because it was the state, not the people in the state, just the state, just the actual the dirt itself.
Okay, fair enough.
The physical being that is
The people.
Kansas.
I didn't deal with anybody in Kansas. I got to be honest. We drove right through it and never talked to another living fucking soul there. However, the state itself can go fuck itself.
Well, all right then.
Yeah. Well, that's true. See, did you hear that? That's because in a 6.5 hour trip, we only saw 2 gas stations.
Yikes. Hey, did you get the fireworks?
No, we were.
Asshole.
I was not. I missed
I'm
it.
changing my asshole of the week right now.
That's all right.
No, I'm kidding.
I do have the bag still. I haven't blown off anything from the first trip, so
Okay.
we might have some inaugural fireworks here still.
There you go.
I still
All right.
I got enough to piss the neighborhood off.
Oh my god, that's what I like to hear. All right, so originally my asshole of the week was going to be a demographic, the woke folk, until a very mouthy idiot that we all know and loathe opened his mouth. A report came out on Friday in the Associated Press about the World Series just recently ended. Houston Astros beat the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yes, they did. But we all called that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
we all pretty much called that shit.
the AP put out a story about how this is the first time since 1950 that the World Series did not feature an American-born black player on either roster. Now they have black players from like Dominican Republic, Venezuela,
Cubans.
right? But
What? So fucking what?
that's what I'm saying. That you look, people are looking for racism now in places there
I
is
don't
no
have
racism.
any Polish people where I work. Is that a
I
problem?
was thinking the same thing. Like where were the
Where does
mix?
this
Where were the
stop?
guineas? Where?
Where's,
Yeah,
like
well, work with me here because the asshole of the week is coming. Now, if that story wasn't so bad and the comments on this USA Today article was fantastic, it was folks like us. Stop looking for racism where there is none. You know, everything's diverse now, yada, 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 yada.
shut the fuck up. Next.
But then, of course, that afternoon, His Royal Racist Asshole Majesty, Stephen A. Smith, decided to get in on it. If you don't know Stephen A. Smith, he's an ESPN commentator who everything has to be about race. Everything.
All
if
right,
the
well, it has to be about
word-
black. It's not just race. It's just black.
Correct.
And I like he does quip a little bit now and then and put a quip out and a nice little sound bite, and every now and then he hits the nail right on the fucking head. And I like to watch him just to watch him lose his mind. But yeah, he can pretty much, he's just fucking a loudmouth shit.
Absolutely.
agree.
And so in him trying to make this AP story into something it's not, whereas, you know, these teams are, you know, inherently racist because they don't have an American-born black player. That's not how it works. They don't hold open tryouts, you know, for the blacks, the Italians, whoever. You know, hey, come join our team. Well, you know, go ahead.
Wouldn't that in itself be racist?
Yes, it would, but you can't tell him
I'm just
that.
saying, wouldn't that in itself? Today we're having Latino Day. Well, who's
He
a
go-
Latino?
He goes
It's
out of his
Polish
way.
Day.
I'm gonna try to make
Dude,
this as
Polish Day
short.
is a short fucking day. All right, there's 3 dudes, and one of them's Putski, and that's all there is to it.
I can't with you right now. So then he starts talking about, because this happened in the World Series, now he has to say that black players are underpaid in today's sports world. So anybody with 3 brain cells to rub together and a Google machine can look up the top 20 highest paid athletes in America, and 10 of them
I was gonna say,
are black.
there 50% of them are black.
Amongst the
50%
top
of them.
Amongst the top 10 are no fewer than LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Kyrie Irving, Tiger Woods, and I can't remember, Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
So once again, Stephen A. Smith is blowing shit out of his ass. Then he makes the worst mistake ever. I'm not trying to make this about me, he says, but even in my line of work, black men are severely underpaid, and we need to get past this. Now, anybody, again, with 3 brain cells to rub together in a Google machine can look
so
this
he's
up,
stabbing right at the network right now. He took a
Right.
direct stab at the network.
which
Um,
doesn't
Where I
surprise
come
me.
from, you'd be fired.
It doesn't surprise me that ESPN is owned by Disney, easily the most woke organization in America right
Yeah,
now.
make sure you do the finger quotes with it, though. It's got to be woke.
Woke. Yeah, exactly. He says, I don't want to make this about me, but even black sportscasters are underpaid. He works on this show. You go to the Google machine. He makes $12 million a year. His co-host, Max Kellerman, a white man who has the same tenure at ESPN,
Max doesn't do it about money, though. That's the point.
doesn't matter. He's paid a fraction of what this guy is talking about.
Max's salary is only like six. Excuse me.
God bless you.
It's like 6.5 at the most.
So-
I'll guarantee it. I don't even know what the figure is, but I'll bet.
Not even going to
it's-
look it up. I just know that this guy is blowing smoke. I'm tired of people changing the narrative to fit whatever victim culture they want to be a part of.
That's because ESPN has Steven there because of that, because he appeals to that side, to that complete woke side, that black side. He pulls in all of those angry black viewers.
I don't
it's-
doubt that. But
that's
much
just
like
that's just
it's a lot
business,
like
man.
it's a lot like the people who say transphobia. Words have meaning for a reason. And a phobia is an irrational fear of someone or something. I don't think any of us or anybody we know is afraid of trans people. That's what phobia means.
Right.
We're
I'm
not,
not
we can't change the words to fit your fucking narrative.
Just because I disagree with it doesn't mean I'm afraid with it.
Exactly. So-
And people will tell you that, well, you just don't understand, and that's the whole thing with the whole critical thinking concept. Everybody thinks that critical thinking is about kids, younger people, kids my son's age, that mid to late 20s age, think that critical thinking means that when you hear a different opinion that varies from yours, you just immediately accept it because that's how it works.
Mhm.
That's not what critical thinking is.
No, it is
Critical
not.
thinking is the ability to accept and listen to another point of view,
Yep.
and then apply your own thinking to it and apply it to your life. Just because you don't agree with it doesn't mean that you don't accept it, won't listen to the idea, but you don't, under the critical thinking concept, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
There's
I
only
refer to you
two,
as boys and girls.
boys and girls.
Well, versus adult men and women. Boys
No,
and
good
girls
call, good
because of the way that you're thinking. Just because I disagree with that doesn't mean that I don't get critical thinking. Critical thinking is the ability to listen to all of those points of view.
Well,
it doesn't mean you accept it.
It is with that knowledge, that kind of actual critical thinking that Herm just brought up, that Lynch agrees with, that we've talked about ad nauseum week after week. Stephen A. Smith, we now know what the A means in the middle of your name. I am nominating you
Asshole.
for the asshole of the
Asshole
week.
of the week.
Yes.
Oh, anybody watch any football this weekend?
I tried to. I was busy doing
I
other
got
shit.
lucky. The Broncos had a bye week, so I didn't have any shame this week other than, just
I watched a little bit before the Cup Series championship race started. I'll talk about that on Wednesday. I'm going to leave the Cup
I
Series.
watched a little of your Falcons game.
I watched Thursday
little of
night's
that.
game all the way through.
Yeah, the Falcons sucked a big one, gave away a couple of opportunities to hold that lead, but alas, they're the Falcons. I was more interested in the shit-ass officiating in the Miami-Chicago game.
Oh my Christ!
I wish I'd seen it.
The three separate calls that they missed
Dude,
of
they make
pass
calls,
interference.
and then they literally have to get there and be. They have to. You see it. They literally get together and like, okay, what's going on? What did you see? I don't know what the fuck. Do you remember the guy with the big nose when we were kids? The guy with the dark hair and the square jaw and the big nose and Mike something or other, and that motherfucker. What? No, not Mike Boguslawski, you silly bitch.
Last
He's in-
channel 8.
He's in your corner.
The fuck?
Your
What
corner.
the fuck? Ladies, I'll be right back. I gotta kick somebody's ass.
You sit down, asshole. There
Mike
were two,
Boguslawski, you
there
fuck.
were there were two different calls. Oh my God, here we go. It's the Jerry Springer show. She's just yelling shit out from the gallery.
Sitting down here in a den, and dude, I got a den like Mike Brady down in this motherfucker. Take 2 steps
Ooh.
down. There's a desk. I got a
Ooh,
Let me
sexy
make my
time.
point, ass
Go
face.
ahead. Heard.
2 different times, a pass interference call that would have gave the Bears great field position through no fault of their own. There's holding, there's pass interference, there was a face mask in one of them. There is a referee standing right there, and they show on the replay. Why didn't he see it? But it was a non-call. Nobody called shit. I'm wondering if the trainer for these NFL referees' last name is Wonder, because none of them can see shit.
Stevie, like Stevie.
the one.
Heard.
That's the one. And I point back to, they pointed at it during the game. They pointed back to Grady Jarrett's sack of Tom Brady in the Falcons-Buccaneers game, where they called roughing the passer, where
Roughing
he
the
rolled his hip.
passer.
It wasn't. The
Not at
referees
all.
right now, if you sneeze in the wrong direction, you get a flag. If you get bodily
For real,
harm,
if you fart too close to a quarterback, you get a roughing charge.
yeah. But if you get mauled trying to catch a pass, which for
Nobody,
years,
nobody cares.
even in the toughest days of football, they would call that. They're not calling it now. It pisses me off. What up, Derek the Undertaker?
What
Eric,
up,
What up,
Undertaker?
man?
So
We do.
I'm not quite sure. Am I blowing this out of proportion, seeing all these missed calls all year long?
No,
or
I don't
Well,
think
I-
so.
am I,
I don't think
It's
so. I
not-
don't think you're blowing out of proportion at all. I think
I've
there's
seen it
a
myself.
complete inconsistency from game to game across the NFL. And you've got games where they're fucking tight and dead on, and every time they go to the fucking board and the network starts throwing replays, they're like, oh yeah, that's definitely a fucking call. And then you've got games where they don't call shit, and the people in the box are the people upstairs in the booth for the network are showing fucking flagrant fouls
Mhm.
on the broadcast that the referees should have called.
And then they're
and
shitting on the
no-
refs at the
and-
same time. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and there's nobody there, bro.
Yeah,
Nobody
I don't.
there.
I've seen it a bunch of times during the games on Sundays. I don't know if it's just a lack of not giving a shit, or is it improper training? Because I've seen 2 different referees call the same play 2 different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and well,
I-
did you guys watch
like-
last night's Titans KC game?
Did
No,
not.
I didn't catch it.
All
I
right,
wanted to.
it was fouls left and right, but every time they threw them on the screen and went to review them, the call was there. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
everything that somebody threw a flag for, it was there on video. You saw it.
It's valid.
It was valid, and it was a
Yeah.
really good game. The guys were really tight. I mean, they were tight all over the place, but Tennessee was just fucking up big time.
It's
But
one thing if the team is screwing up left and right and getting these flags legit, but when there's a non-call or where there's a call like the one on Grady Jarrett, which is not what they say it was, they're just throwing the flag, I don't know, for drama's sake. I don't know. This isn't WWE. This is professional sports. This is football.
choreograph it. It's like the ballet. Throw the flags.
How many times over the years have I said to one or both of you, you know what? I swear to God, Vince McMahon runs the NFL. I swear on my eyes.
Swear to God. Yeah,
So,
just
this
for
all
viewers'
changed.
sake.
And the entire league changed in the 90s. You saw a slow progression of where they were going with this, because I remember late 70s and the 80s watching a football game. You're watching 2 entirely different sports between the 70s and 80s and 2022. They're 2 different games.
What classified as a face mask in the ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the 90s. The 90s were
Unless
the most
face mask was ripped off.
The 90s were the most destructive phase in just about every sport for violence and toleration of such. All right? It was the
And in
pinnacle.
football, if the mask
Go to a
was ripped off
football
the
game
face-
and watch a 90s football game and see what qualified as a face mask back then. All right? There wasn't all these special masks. It was like 2 bars across the front and 2 going upside down. And you used to stick your fingers in their fucking head and basically, gouge their eyes out and then rip their head off,
Like the old horse collar tackle, which is now
Yes.
illegal.
which is now illegal. And that the horse collar used to just be a standard tackle.
Mhm.
That's how you take a motherfucker down.
I don't want to
So-
sound like my grandfather, but I used to watch Jack Lambert from the Steelers just absolutely decimate human beings, and once in a blue moon he got a flag. Once in a blue moon, and
And
now
when he did, he was like, "What the fuck?"
he's got no teeth, and he's the meanest man in the history of mean men. I hope if he's alive, I hope he's not watching this. I don't want him to come kick my ass. But are you gonna die?
No, not yet. That's
Please
hilarious.
don't die. No, he was amazing. We were talking about old school football Sunday. Guys like Richard Dent and Mike Singletary, Jesse Tuggle, Mosey Tutupu. Who was the guy from the one?
Dude, Carl Mecklenburg on the
That's the-
Broncos just
Yup.
used to fucking train wreck two dudes at a time all night for fucking
knew
3 hours.
I knew I'd fuck up his name if I tried to say it.
No, but
And,
for real, like he was built like a fucking. He was built like Trav. He was a
Right.
refrigerator with a
Yeah.
fucking pumpkin on it. And
You look up some of these guys' names, like the ones we mentioned, John Randall, Al Noga, just some of these just beasts that would come out and just kick your ass.
just stomp
and you took it.
all for 3 hours.
hmm But no, we got woke football now.
Well, and remember, guys, in the middle of the mid '90s is when this all changed. The rules started getting tighter, and it was because these team owners were throwing a lot of money at these players, and they wanted to protect them.
Yes, they were.
And that's when you started seeing quarterbacks with a couple $1 million contracts going into the 3-digit millions.
hmm
In the
Uh-huh.
90s
Well,
and
at that
2000s.
time, the players,
So
the
not
players,
only has
ahead.
the way we referee the game changed, the players have changed their attitudes.
Mhm.
And it frustrates the shit out of defensive lines because they know this is not how we play football.
Well, thankfully, it's not like the NBA where the inmates run the asylum. You so much as breeze by someone, and he falls on the ground. LeBron is like the king of this shit, and he falls on the ground. And they get a foul on the player.
No sport is hockey, guys. No sport.
Oh
is
my
hockey.
God, I love hockey.
Dude,
It's
the
only sport where
commercial, whatever the
violence is
fucking commercial
encouraged.
was, where the guy comes into the locker room and he's like, "I got a splinter," and there's a fucking hockey stick sticking out of his fucking arm,
Yep.
and he's like, "So we're just gonna wrap it and we're good,
Right?
right?"
Yeah, we're good, right? Yeah.
If there's a fight in baseball, football, even at the end of a NASCAR race, you have 4,000 people come and try to pull these people apart.
In hockey, they stand around and like, "I got $20 on that guy in the blue."
You wait till one of the fighters hits the floor, fight's over, get in the box.
That's right. If they stand there beating the shit out of each other for 3.5 minutes, they stand there beating the shit out of each other 3.5 minutes.
This is why
I don't
hockey is
care
the
if your-
greatest sport
I
on
don't care
earth.
if your shirt's been pulled over your head and I'm beating the shit out of you like you're in a fucking bag for 1.5 minutes. The ref won't stop it. So you hit the floor. All right, now we're done. Now we're done. He's not on his feet anymore.
And truly, hockey is the only sport other than boxing and UFC where you expect to see a fight.
Well, because you're going there for a fight.
Exactly.
Hockey is a fight interrupted by ice skating.
That's
Yeah.
right. I went to a hockey game and the skating broke out.
Right?
And it's,
I went to a hockey
Random-
fight and skating broke out. That's
yeah.
I took when my daughter turned 5. I took her to a Providence Bruins game, and they did a home and home against
that was,
Bridgeport.
I did that with the kids. I literally
Yeah.
was like, no. I taught them everything.
So the night before they played in Bridgeport, and there must have been something that happened because they dropped the puck, and the two left wingers dropped the gloves, started fighting 1 second into the game.
Like
my
literally, yeah.
My daughter just turned 5, is up on top of her seat screaming, "Fight, fight, 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 fight." I'm like, no
Kick
DNA
his
needed.
ass!
No DNA needed. That's my child.
Yeah.
Kick his ass!
But you're
Is that
right.
Seabass?
I wish for the purity and the goodness of football that we all love, they got to get their shit together somehow. Because I thought last year some of the calls were bad. This year it has eclipsed it all.
Yeah,
go back-
I mean, some
how
of the
many years
calls are completely shit.
What season was it where we had all these replacement refs? How far
The
back
what?
was that? The replacement refs.
Oh, during the referee strike,
No,
maybe
that
10,
was the ref strike.
yeah, was that
Yeah.
10, 15 years ago?
Yeah,
it's-
about that.
So that's kind of what it's a rehash of that from 15 years
Yeah,
ago.
it's like you got a bunch of scabs in there right now. It's
And,
I don't know
and
what
that's
happened.
what's frustrating for me is that those are veteran referees that are not seeing these calls or making the wrong call. I mean, I think the inconsistency is what's pissing me off this season, because when I'm
Well,
watching the game,
that's it entirely. It's not like I mean,
my
you've
2
got
o'clock game. My 2 o'clock game was really well called. My 4 o'clock game, holy shit! What the fuck? What did I just see? You know, no calls or bad
Mhm.
calls.
Mhm.
Yeah, I gave up after the Falcons game. I just watched racing and tried to enjoy myself.
We watched that new movie about Weird Al Yankovic on.
Oh, I'm
Roku
sorry to
channel.
hear that.
Oh, what's that on
Dude.
Roku?
Dude, it is freaking funny.
I don't
It
know.
is
I have that.
2 hours.
I have a
of
Roku
my-
TV, and I don't know. Do I have to pay for it?
No,
I don't
free.
think so.
All right.
It's
I might
2
check
hours
that
of
out
my
then.
life I'm never going to get back. I went into. I don't want to spoil
Well,
it.
you
If
know,
you guys
there's
haven't seen it yet.
Kiss meets Phantom of the Park, but you know, I had to watch. I've lost at least a day's worth of time being forced to watch.
At
that
least
shit.
you knew going into that it was an act of fiction. I walked into this when you call something the Al Yankovic story, I expected like a biopic behind the music, something. It wasn't that. I hated it. I should write
Only
now,
because your expectations were shattered. You didn't watch the preview.
I did watch the preview, but it was only like 30 seconds long. It just looked like here's his, his squeeze box and here's the Hawaiian shirt and the Al Yankovic story.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
no, I
Okay.
want like an hour and a half of just Weird Al interviews. That's what
Yeah,
I want.
Good luck with that.
Ugh. So what else is going on?
Let's see what else. What else is going
Oh,
on?
oh, Twitter.
Oh yeah, the twatter got the twatter.
So Elon Musk overpaid by a whole bunch of money by
Mhm.
Twitter to be the CEO, and
He did.
immediately shit canned a very large portion of the top brass.
He fucked up. He fired half his staff.
Yep. Yep. So now there's stories on Twitter or blurbs on anywhere on social media that the current employees are working day and night and sleeping in their cars, and we're on such a tight timeline. We have to get this done, or we're something bad's gonna happen. Well, maybe that because you overhired for your own company and you were making fat profits and stuffing it into payroll. I mean, sometimes companies create 3 of the same position just so their buddies can be employed.
Right. Another thing that people have missed about this whole thing is that over the last couple of years, maybe 5 or 6, Twitter is one of those misinformation. No, once again, we go back to critical thinking and opposing viewpoint. Just because you don't like what I say doesn't make it hate speech. It's just something you hate to hear. And they were banning people left and right. Banned from Twitter. They banned the sitting president of the United States, although I kind of agree with that because Donald Trump can't shut his
Dude, I'm
fucking mouth for 30
not.
seconds.
I'm all for free speech, but he kind of fucking shot his mouth off. Kind of fucked up. I mean, let's,
Yep. So I'm
and-
not opposed to that.
And we all know that free speech only applies to as far as the government is concerned. It
Mm.
does not mean that free speech means you can't say what you want and you can't be arrested, put in jail, held in prison. It doesn't mean that there's no consequences for your actions. But
Exactly.
he did kind of cross a fucking line on that one.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, I'm not saying
Oh,
that
yeah.
Twitter's on it and not, but yeah, I mean, you kind of had to. There was no really denying exactly kind of how fucked up it was.
Agreed. So again, when Donald Trump got banned from Twitter, that was fine by me. As a president, 50-50. He couldn't shut his mouth.
Right.
Well,
He was his own
right,
worst enemy.
Right. He never exactly throughout the presidency he didn't shut his mouth, and he refused to give up his. Every other president has given up personal devices, and he refused to. And he would, there was we all know the shit. He just liked to run his fucking mouth, and
Mhm.
sometimes you just got to shut the fuck up.
He couldn't get out of his own way.
Right.
And
Well, now-
go ahead.
And now you see all these celebrities saying, "Oh, I'm out. I'm tapping out of Twitter."
See ya.
Well, who cares? When you were relevant 15 years ago, when you first joined Twitter, and your celebrity was relevant to the situation and the times, you've since moved on, and you're just somebody using Twitter to keep yourself in today's newsfeed.
Mm-hmm.
And you reply
Right.
to these things like, Kevin Sabo, who's a very prime example of that.
Hercules.
You were Hercules on TV. You were enjoyable then when I was 16, 15, whatever the fuck that was. Move on.
Well, it also goes back to when the Florida legislation, Ron DeSantis and the like, pushed the Parental Rights and Education Act. Hello, Jordan.
Hey.
That's Jordan Miller from the Speedway Review, by the way. Give him a little round of applause. Ron DeSantis, they put it through the Parental Rights and Education Act. Now, you can read it. It was online. Everybody could see it. But the Twitterverse, the far left crazies, they called it the Don't Say Gay bill. That wasn't what it is. But all you have to do is read it. Take 20 minutes out of your day. Read the smaller version, or do like I did, read the whole entire thing. Nope. You couldn't convince these celebrities, and I can't remember his name. He really doesn't matter to me. The guy from hell was that motorcycle show? Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, the blonde guy there.
Charlie Hunnam or
Yeah.
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman.
He starts making these videos and putting them on Twitter. Ron DeSantis, you piece of shit. Fuck you. What do you mean, don't say gay? Here's another guy who didn't take the time, energy, or the effort to read the bill. It's kind of like going back to, not only Stephen A. Smith, but Bubba Wallace. Since Jordan's here, I've had my rant about Bubba Wallace on both shows. Just because I don't like Stephen A. Smith or Bubba Wallace doesn't make me racist. It just means I don't like it. Everything doesn't have to be put into this little box, but that's what's happening nowadays is, and Herm said it best. It goes back to critical. Are you drinking? God damn it. Fucking hate you right now. You don't have to put everything in a tiny little box and say, this is what you're supposed to think. Your mind is a huge, expansive network. Use all of it. Stop thinking everything's fucking racist.
Chat!
Yes, sir.
See, my dogs aren't barking. You haven't heard a goddamn word of them bitches.
No. Jordan said, who cares who owns Twitter? It's still the damn same, so who cares? I'll use it. Like, okay, Musk owns it, so what? Okay, I'm the same way. I mean, I rarely use
I don't think
Twitter.
I don't think it comes down to whether I'm going to use it or not. I think it's more along the discussing the lines of the there's some socioeconomic, there's social things that are attached to it.
Mhm.
Not necessarily political, but are attached to people's views and leaning one way or the other. It's just that's okay, but you also have to deal with the backlash, and you also, I mean, Elon's fucking nuts.
Well, it goes back
All right,
to
he's wild. He's out there. He's got a lot of money. And when you have a lot of money, you can be as crazy as you want to be.
Mhm. Well, it goes back to the free speech thing, and you got to be careful what you say. And I don't mean that you can't
Right.
say.
I mean, you don't want to Duck Dynasty yourself.
Right, and that goes back to what I'm about to say. Is sometimes you have to watch what you say, because the written word, and once it's on the internet, I don't care how you try to delete it, it's there
Looks like
forever.
he should be on that show tonight. Look at that.
Yeah, he does.
The thing.
Happy,
That's
happy,
Psy
happy.
right there.
Yeah,
that's
right?
fucking Psy.
Anyway,
What?
so the one thing I know the woke folk hate is when you use their words against them. I never said that. What about this right here? Whoopi Goldberg gets caught out on it. Hillary Clinton gets caught out on it.
All the time.
And you have to be, I say be careful, but be mindful of what you say. Don't put anything out there you can't walk back and go, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I meant. Don't hide from it, because you can't.
Yeah, see, I'm even further than that, and I don't put anything out there that you don't know exactly what the fuck I meant the first time I fucking said it.
Right.
Well,
Right.
I've been subject to that before.
And if you'd
on
like to
Facebook.
misconstrue, if you would like to misconstrue it, we can meet outside by the dumpster. I'm just,
Oh, we're going to the dumpster now.
you know what I mean? I'll have no problem putting you in your place on anything. No, not at all. You want to
The thing-
accuse me of a bunch of shit? No.
Yeah. Well, the
But,
thing
there-
with
but
me
okay,
with
but
Twitter-
there's another problem, and we're going to bring it right to the front of the table. Don't tell me what you think I meant. Ask me what I meant if you're unclear. Don't say, oh, you're obviously, no, talk to me. I'm pretty good about stuff like this, and I think all three of us are. But the minute you say, I know what you meant, do you really now?
Do you know what I mean?
Right. What am I
Yeah.
thinking right now?
Well, that's the problem. That's my thing with Twitter. I don't understand it. Okay, I don't have the time to open this and break that down and click.
Yeah,
to
there's way
see
too
what
much
they
going on
type.
with Twitter. Yeah.
Too much. I just want to read it, digest it, and move along.
Mhm.
I don't get it. So I don't
Yeah,
care
to-
one way or
I don't-
another.
I don't-
but
I don't-
do.
I don't have the time to follow the Twitter thing and deal with that.
And so what I have had a Twitter account for years, but I do read it. I do scroll through it. Just, when a story breaks out in the media about what dumb shit fucking knucklehead on Twitter said this, I'll have a grasp of it. I don't use it. It's not a tool to me. It's not a tool that I have in my toolbox. I
Right.
don't
Yeah, I
need
mean,
it.
I literally only started a
But-
Twitter account so that I could broadcast to it.
I did something this week that goes to Lynch's point. I took to Twitter for the first time in about a year and a half, and there was a story out there that a lot of people, and I don't want to say which side they're on. You can figure this out on your own. There's a book, autobiography being written by Marjorie Taylor Greene, and people are calling for this book to be banned. So I took to Twitter. I'm going to get it right now so I don't
Well, I mean,
misquote myself.
she is a little whack jobby.
She is a crazy bitch. I ain't gonna lie.
That bitch ain't
I like
bitch
those
ain't
kind of
right.
stories.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying I don't like her. I'm just saying that bitch crazy.
So there were two tweets. Lynch liked one of them, so he did look at Twitter once this week. And the first one was, I don't know why people are in arms because Twitter/Elon Musk is opening up the Twitterverse to open free speech. It's almost as if people like censorship, like the Nazis, but prefer to call the other side Nazis. Hypocrite much? And then the second one read, the left. Oh my God, Republicans want to ban books. Also the left. Ban Marjorie Taylor Greene's book. They can't get out of their own way, but if you don't agree with what they say, you're a Nazi, you're a terrorist, you're this, you're that. And it happens on both sides, don't get me wrong, because these crazy whack jobs that drive around town with the fuck Joe Biden flag, dude, don't turn yourself into the lowest common denominator.
Yeah, like the guy.
Both sides can be better.
We went shopping and did a bunch of errands today, and I spent the disgusting amount of money on shit just to try and get this house in order, like for cleaning and shit and organizing. And we're coming back, and there's a guy, and he's got a yard that's along the main boulevard of that through our section of town, and we're on the south side. And this guy has 70 feet along of road on the frontage, and it's Jen and I were driving around town, and we were like, I might get shit from a lot of people on the right about this philosophy for voting, but me voting in Connecticut doesn't change anything for me right now.
No.
Okay.
Right.
I am not current enough on Colorado politics locally at the town level. I mean, we vote for everything here. Sheriff. We vote for the town coroner.
Ooh.
We vote
There's
for
a job
Derek,
for
did you
you.
hear that?
Yeah,
we
Derek,
vote
come on.
for like the for real. Derek, move your ass out here, bitch. I will get you elected. I know all the Mexicans out here.
There you go.
They vote for like all kinds of shit that normally is just like an appointment and somebody gets the job. So I don't know enough from Adam here to make a political decision from on the town level, the county level, the state level, or the national level when it comes to who my representatives are and who
And it's a lot.
my senators
it's a
are.
lot
Like
of research.
I am not educated enough to
Right.
make a good vote that actually counts for a reason. It would literally just be a vote for it. I consider that a wasted vote. It's a
Right.
vote without purpose. It doesn't matter what your purpose is. If you cast a ballot, I don't care. And they all said, well, when Trump was doing it and people didn't vote for the other side, that was a vote for. Look, any vote with purpose is a good vote.
Exactly.
I can't vote with purpose because I don't know enough other than what I've seen on the political commercials. I haven't been around long enough. All right.
You're Mike
so-
Herman, and you approve this message.
Right. Like that's all I know. All right. Is there's people shitting on the left and people shitting on the right. And I have really not seen a track record of anybody's behavior. So I'm not voting this midterm because I feel I'm not an educated voter. And if you're not an educated voter, you should not go to a poll.
And then you know what's sad? I know a little bit more about the Colorado gubernatorial race because I saw Heidi Ganahl on TV yesterday, and she comes off as she's the Republican in the race, and she comes off as really smart. I'm sure she is. She's very well spoken, but she trips over her own point. Not quite like John Fetterman, but
Oh my
she'll
God.
say she says something about like women's reproductive rights.
Is that the
and
one with the glasses?
No, Fetterman's the guy that had a stroke. He's running.
No.
against Dr. Oz.
The Colorado. Is that the lady with the glasses?
She didn't have glasses in the interview.
Because one of the
I'm looking her up now.
candidates for governor showed up to a debate wearing her fucking side piece.
Ooh.
And and I'm all for it, but
No, that's Lauren. Lauren
and-
Boebert.
yes,
Lauren
I'm all for the Second Amendment and the 14th Amendment. However, I don't think a political debate is the place to show up carrying a sidearm.
I don't disagree.
I think you've got security for that, and I don't.
It's fucking funny as hell.
I think it's hilarious that you're that fucking into your shit that you have to show up kind of inappropriately. You know what I mean?
It is very
It's kind of
inappropriate.
like if I walked into Burger King carrying an M16 just because I'm licensed to do so.
Right?
Give me all the Big Macs.
Right. Give me all the Big Macs. Oh no, I'm paying for them. Do I make you uncomfortable? I'm sorry, it's my right.
Yeah. There's a place and a time for
And
shit
it
like
makes-
that.
Right, and I don't think a political debate is the time to be carrying a fucking sidearm.
Absolutely not in this day and age. Oh no.
No. Not if you're trying to go get a bunch of people. Like, no, I just don't think. Now, especially not carrying it open like it's fucking Wild West. Look,
Right.
It is Colorado. It is the Wild West. I've lived here for 2 months. I can tell you it's the Wild West. They pull shit here that wouldn't fucking fly, and the cops are just like,
Right?
did he die?
if
Literally,
you
the
look at-
cops are like, did he die?
rub some dirt on it. You can look at your former home state of Connecticut, where you have on one side Ned Lamont, again, another 50-50 politician. He's done some good, he's done some bad.
Right. He started
done a lot
out with
of
a
good,
good handling of the COVID thing, but then it kind of extended and got a little muddy. But yeah, I mean, he's
Right.
he's 50-50, 60-40 if you're depending on what side. You could even go 60 shit and 40 good, or 60
Right,
good and
it's
40
same.
shit.
Now,
But, it's-
we're at a state surplus monetarily for the first time in I don't know how long. Good on Ned Lamont. We also
Very
have some of the
long.
highest utility bills. Bad on Ned Lamont. But on the other side, you have,
are the most expensive state in
are you going to let me finish a point once tonight?
before Hawaii.
I'm a
Other
fucking
than
kill
Hawaii,
you.
you were the only one. You were the highest fucking electricity. Colorado's
Got it.
49th on that
I
list.
fucking hate both of you right now.
Go ahead.
Because now I lost my train of thought now. Oh, okay. So 60-40. So it's the first political commercial I've seen this year was Bob Stefanowski, the opponent for Ned Lamont. And he's not out there shitting all over Ned Lamont. And he's not doing
Nope.
the usual thing. He's got his 2 daughters and his wife and their dog in the video. You know, they're saying all nice things about their dad. And then at the end, he goes, I'm Bob Stefanowski, and I'm extremely embarrassed to approve this message.
Yeah.
And they all hug, and I was like, dude, I like him already. But then I started looking up some of his policy. I'm torn. I'm at 50-50 with both of them. And it comes
I am
down to
too.
I'm not a spite voter. So
No.
if I wanted to vote for Stefanowski to say fuck Lamont, that's a wasted vote.
I agree. It's
I
not,
said that to
it's
people.
a shitty purpose.
I said that to people over and over again with the Biden Trump thing. I'm like, vote with your conscience. And if your conscience says fuck Donald Trump, then that's a good vote. But when people say I voted for Joe Biden and he's ruining the country, why did you vote for him? And the number one answer, like I'm on Family fucking Feud, is because he's not Donald Trump. Well, that's a wasted fucking vote.
See, I didn't vote for him because he wasn't Donald Trump. I voted for Biden because he come across as a moderate. He came
And-
across way more
Yeah,
in the
he
middle
did.
than his
Yeah.
policy has been, sir.
He ran
And
center
he came
left.
across, and
You're
I was
right.
like, you know what? He was kind of in the middle, but he ran barely in the middle, like he barely to the left, like he just kind of leaned to the left. He
Mhm.
wasn't like way over left. He was just kind of like. And then he got in office, and it kind of went to complete shit.
Kinda.
And I know I'm being nice. I know there's a lot of voters that are that way, that are like us in the middle and kind of more to that moderate thing. And I was like, you know what? Moderate's kind of where I am. There's some things I'm progressive on. There's some things I'm not progressive on.
Right.
And
I have the same feelings.
and when he was kind of more in the middle, I was like, all right, I can kind of get behind that whole concept of riding in the middle, man, because the left and the right are kind of way fucked up, but in the middle's where shit really gets done. And then he just kind of went left.
Yeah, he went hard
And
left.
fucked me hard. And I feel he fucked a lot of voters hard. And unfortunately, I feel the mindset is a lot of voters are going to vote to the other side regardless, just because of they feel like they've been fucked over. And you really can't do that. You've got to stick to your guns, but you can't spite vote.
Mhm.
But I mean, there's a lot of us I feel that were like, he kind of ran as a moderate.
Yeah, I
and
was a
it's so
registered
not that-
Democrat. Yeah, I was a registered Democrat since 1992. I did campaigning in Connecticut 2 different times for Bill Clinton and in the Clinton Gore campaign. And then somewhere along the way, it started to go way too left. And your belief and your policy and your procedure don't fit my world anymore.
The unfortunately, the Democratic Party isn't organized, and that's what happened. Is they kind of lost their whole organization thing, and because of that, they have just fallen apart. They're not organized for shit
No,
right now at all.
no. And there's so much infighting between them. Not only that,
Yes.
it's not so much Biden, because Biden couldn't spit out a full sentence if the words were already in his mouth. That kind of hurts our country. But you have like the AOCs and the Kamala Harrises, and they all want to tell you what to think. They don't want to ask you what you think, and that's a downfall of the country. But they have the nerve to look at the other side. And again, the right is not perfect. We all know this. At least guys like us know this. And they say, well, if you don't think like us, so you're on that other side, you're on the right, you're a Nazi, you're this, you're that. Is that a chicken McNugget with weed on it?
Yeah.
That's the chicken McNugget of weed. That's
Okay. So the prevailing
Rich's
sentiment,
I saw it on video. His eyes just turned red.
the prevailing sentiment is you want to call everybody a Nazi and you want to say that they want to shut you down, but right now the far left, not the Democratic Party, the far left wants to shut everybody down. You don't agree with me? You're a phobe. You're an ist. You're a Nazi. You are a terrorist. You're a threat to the sacred democracy. Horse shit.
I agree with that. I agree with the whole look. I believe. Look, I'm. What up, Big Al? Everybody's calling us their bitches.
That's right.
That's such a term of endearment.
So we'll start a Patreon. If you pay us, we'll be your bitches.
Right. We will be your bitches all day and all night, whenever you want. Herd hate me too, he says. I don't even know where I was going with this. Shit.
See, you did it to yourself this
I
time.
did it to myself this time.
I'm not the only victim. Now we're a part of a victim culture. You and I can go on Twitter and bitch.
Well, anyway,
we can ask for money to help our foundation.
Right?
So as far as with me with voting, I'm 50-50 too as well. Our current governor has not done anything to me personally that affected me. But I don't know. I don't know if he's got another round in him or not. That's either he's going to maintain or get worse, because they generally don't get better when they're reelected.
No.
Stefanowski, his policies are a little like you, Chris. What you said, Chris. I don't know. But Biden today said if they get 2 more Democrats and can take control of the House, they're going to codify Roe v. Wade.
As long as it's codified and voted on into law, I'm okay with it. And I've said that
I've got
before.
no issue with that as long as it goes, as long as it's done right and it's handled. Yeah.
Right. But a Supreme Court decision like Roe versus Wade was never a constitutional right. It was never a law. And when I heard, I don't want to say all women, but most 99% of the women I know personally in life were like, "Oh my God, this is the end of women's rights. They're not going to stop at
Yeah,
Roe."
but you
This and that.
haven't.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
but you haven't heard shit about it for months, man.
exactly.
They were all fucking outraged, and now they've moved on to whatever the bigger,
And
hotter,
today,
newer
I'm
woke
sorry,
thing is.
tomorrow.
And nobody fucking runs their mouth, and now they will now because it's the thing. You know, you got to vote. And Elon, I mean, Elon put the tweet out about voting the way he was voting because there's perfectly good reason to vote. Perfectly, again, a vote with purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
And I can't hold that against anybody. There's no vote with purpose I can shit on.
Right. I'm going to call one other kind of voter out, as long as we're on the subject of voting, is they don't, if you're not looking at the, like you said, a spite vote. I'm voting for this guy because he's not that guy. I'm voting for that woman because she's a Democrat or whatever. If you vote down the party line and you don't know what the other side has to offer, or you haven't looked into what they're running on,
that's voting without using critical thinking.
Exactly.
Well, zero education on the subject as well.
We got a nice comment here from Sammy Miner. It says, some people, myself included, are getting politically drained. Back in the day, politics were discussed during elections and then nothing for a few years. Very good point.
See, I was just going to say, did you guys see what Sammy just said?
Yeah, it's been a daily discussion
point.
for 8 years. It's so exhausting. I almost don't care anymore, honestly. I
get
that.
I get that. But I that's also I think the reason behind that, Sammy, is the same reason that I say that everybody freaks out that there's so many more pedophiles and there's so many more people attacking children. No, there's not. It's always happened. The difference is that 50, 60 years ago, you only heard about what was local. And you only got shit off of AP Wire, and nobody.
Unless it was a huge story,
right? Unless it was a huge story, and nobody heard about the kid in Kansas that got fucking abducted, and nobody knew about it.
But you heard about John Bonet,
happened, right? But you heard about the ones that could get the press. The difference is now that because everything has switched from print to digital, it's so much easier to disseminate information and disseminate stories.
Okay.
And for you to understand what's going on in some piece of shit little town in California that hits your Google feed on your shit. Okay.
Exactly.
And this is why people are drained. You have to take it and realize that it's just a condition of the technology and the times that we're in.
Exactly.
Right?
Now look at what happened.
In order to try and influence shit, they have to constantly hit you. There's no different. It's no different than any selling point, any commercial. Do you think that Crest is going to slow down just because they're selling a lot of toothpaste? No, bitch. They want to sell more. They're going to pump up that shit. They got to come up with a new hot commercial that makes Crest awesome.
Look what happened the other day.
What politics is doing.
Exactly. Look what happened the other day. To go to your point about digital media, I don't know who Aaron Carter was. I had no fucking clue. But I
had to look him up.
Minutes after he died. The TMZ story was 11 minutes
he's
old.
He's the brother of the dude that had a real career in the Backstreet Boys.
Which I found out, much like Lynch did by looking it up. Minutes.
Lynch
minutes after. But back in the day, you pick up a paper the next morning, Elvis Presley dead. You didn't know about it till the next day. Now you find out 11 minutes after they take the body out of the house.
Derek Bother, you can go fuck yourself.
I'll stick a pool cue up his ass at the next
real.
hangout.
Sideways, bitch. What's up?
Splintered.
And they also like to say somebody's dead, and then the next day, oh, he's not dead yet.
Oh, Tony Dow, Jerry Lee Lewis. It's happened 3 or 4 billion times in the last couple of years. And then
Derek's
2 days later, they're dead.
Aaron Carter, rest in peace, because he wish he had that fucking job.
I think Aaron Carter and him were the president and vice president of the Douche Pesh Mode fan club.
Heard the Douche Mode fan club?
Yes, Douche Mode fan club. But again, much like you said, Herm, it's a very digital age. And I can go back to a story and I like to rip on this guy a lot because there's a lot to rip on. When they found the bodies of Chris Benoit and his family, that was about an hour. It took about an hour. Mm-hmm. If that happened today, 11 minutes, you guys, I wish I had the Queen or Trump's mother. I'm not quite sure what that means.
That's the job.
Oh, there you go. That's a good job. ex-wife. Anyway,
Trump's mother, ex-wife, whatever.
Same,
Whatever.
same.
Yo, it's like Mr. Mom. Yo, would you wire this in like 110? Yeah, 110,
110,
111, whatever it took.
whatever it takes.
Whatever it was.
The 24-hour news cycle has changed the way we look at everything from
Right.
politics.
I mean,
sports,
CNN started it, and
They
then
certainly did. I mean,
and
look at
then-
you want to see how old we are, Derek? Watch this. How many times, Mike, did we come home after a long night of work and for 2 hours we were set in front of the television watching the Branch Davidian compound siege and standoff? And then when
and then calling the radio station and pretending to be from the Branch Davidian compound and asking them to play "We Didn't Start the Fire" by Billy Joel.
that's
I
correct.
remember that distinctly.
Yep. Well, we were glued to it. And that was really, like you said, the beginning of the 24-hour news cycle. CNN, the overnight NBC, and there was one other station that had a CBS overnight was doing the same thing. But,
The OJ thing.
oh my God, that was everywhere.
The
So
OJ
you
thing.
you guys bring up those events. My dad had one of those big ass satellite dishes on the roof of his house. So we would get the wild.
Oh, the big
feed.
like 7-footers.
Yeah.
They so big my arms don't even fit in the picture.
They were getting TV from
You know,
Jupiter.
the ones like Dusky's dad used to hook up.
Oh my God.
You have to drive him in on a fucking trailer.
Go
We
ahead,
would get
Lynch.
what they call the wild feed, which is if they push it out to any affiliate, that's ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox.
It's picked
So
up.
we're getting raw footage of
Mhm.
stuff they don't show on TV, and there was some pretty interesting shit happening.
Oh yeah.
At the Branch Davidian video feed, and then
Oh yeah.
ever got out.
Yeah, satellite got some feed that nobody else on the planet
It
got
was-
with network TV.
The same thing with OJ too. OJ got the OJ feed once they got to the friggin' Jeep to stop moving. There was a lot of shit that happened there that the public never saw. It's weird. It's just a very weird to see that. And I was, 1990, whatever the fuck whatever the fuck that was. And now, holy shit. Usually you said, Chris, 11 minutes.
Yeah, it'd be like 93, 94, somewhere
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
there.
I mean, I look back
And-
to a couple of years ago when Prince died, and it was out there within 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he wasn't even cold yet, and everybody on the planet knew.
Well, dude,
Exactly.
my
The
phone
fucking
blows
coroner
up.
hadn't even shown up yet, and everybody on the planet knew he was dead.
Yep.
Nobody
My-
even pronounced him dead yet, but he was dead to the world.
My phone blows up in the afternoon with all the like the news apps I have.
Anal
this,
porn?
that.
I
Yeah,
know.
that too. Ask Master. Ask Master. Master.
That's what ASMR stands for, the Ass Master.
With local people or like Chris said, celebrities. Holy shit. We've plowed through a lot of celebrities this year that died, but it's minutes, not hours, minutes. You're getting information, and,
Well,
people are spoiled now. They want to know about it yesterday.
We didn't find out about Kurt Cobain for 2 days.
I know.
Yeah, give or take. Yeah.
We didn't know about Kurt Cobain for 2 days. When we found out he died 2 fucking days ago. The fuck? Like,
Now it's instantaneous, and that's why we've, as a culture and a society, we've become spoiled. We want everything instantaneously,
everything
so, like,
now.
instant gratification. That's why you see all these
There's no patience.
influencers on Instagram and whatever the fuck TikTok. That's their instant gratification. They make money by telling young teens and tweens what to wear, what to buy, what to read, what to eat. That's how they make money.
Yeah, because somebody pays them to tell them that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. You wear this shirt and with these shoes, and you represent 2 of my companies. You'll get your paycheck. But
Fucking disgusting.
it's a fast food nation, man. And I'm not
Oh,
just
yeah.
saying that
It
for
is
food.
fucking
It is
disgusting. However, if
fast food.
anybody happens to see this podcast and would like to use Dysfunction Junction and would like to pay us to push your shit, we're all about it. So just saying,
absolutely.
you know,
Hashtag.
We're not-
hashtag this.
you heard hashtag we want your money. Thank you very much.
I'm just in it. I'm in it for the money. I'll suck down a ranch dressing cheeseburger if you pay me enough
That's what I'm
Mayo
saying.
chop.
with mayo chop.
You're gonna chug a bottle of Mayo Chup.
No, I will not.
No,
But if you pay me
no,
enough,
a man has to draw a line from now and then.
you know what?
He's
You
gotta
might.
just
I think.
draw
I
a
think
line.
Herm's right. I think Herm's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Man's got to draw a
at
line.
Mayo Chup.
It's just gotta happen. You just gotta fucking put your line in the sand, bro. It's just gotta
You
happen.
cannot deny the awesomeness that is Mayo Chup.
Oh, I can deny it.
Oh, I'm
I can-
denying the shit out of
I
it.
can
You're like-
totally
you're like
deny
flat-
it.
You're
I
like
can
flat
deny it
earthers
like
to me.
like a way far right Republican denying the 2020 election. It's not fucking happening.
No,
That
speaking
never-
of which, okay, you
that
got me now.
Mayo Chup isn't a thing. That's just two things you mix together. It's not a real thing.
I believe they called it fancy sauce in Step Brothers.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so election denial, right? I'm hearing a lot of that. The clips from Whoopi Goldberg and her merry band of cunts, and Hillary Clinton's been out there saying, about election denial and how dare the Republicans. I do seem to remember a couple of Democrats, one that I actually did campaigning for in 2000 by the name of Al Gore, and Hillary Clinton in 2016 denying the election results, but that's okay. But if you happen to have a little R next to your name, it's not okay. You're a threat to the sacred democracy.
Oh yeah, well that was
again,
during the Gore Bush election.
yes.
Hanging
and-
chads.
The hanging chads.
I believe that was the beginning of the severe separation.
Mhm.
I believe that election was the
Absolutely.
was the beginning and the catalyst that allowed the severe separation of right and left.
Mhm.
Because prior to that, you'd had a lot of moderates and some extreme rights and lefts.
Mhm.
And after that, it's like everybody picked a fucking side and forgot that the side doesn't matter. It's the goal that matters.
Right. I mean, you could be a Republican
And everybody
still
had
have a common goal.
After that,
Yeah.
everybody had to be on a team. And not being
Well-
on a team and thinking for yourself and thinking and taking both sides into consideration was now like some weak bullshit.
Mhm.
Right. And I appreciate a politician, let's say he's a Republican, but he dips his toes to the Democratic side on certain things. That's what bipartisanship is supposed to. How, folks, bipartisanship is that's how.
Dude,
this
we're
is
all
supposed
that
to work.
way. I'm
This is
the way it should
how
be.
on
Because I like that.
on strippers, I'm pretty fucking liberal, bro. On kitty porn, I'm really fucking conservative.
Yeah, yeah. You
Straight up.
you have to be-
Straight up.
Wait. You could be a minor attracted person, and that's a sexual. That's a gender now.
I'm gonna
You
ban
have to
you
be
from the
okay
show.
with that.
Hold on, I gotta make
Do
this-
it. Just
this
go ahead.
doesn't make it go away. Just
Do
you're
it.
gone. I'm swear
You
to
see me
God.
pretending to be woke folk and how silly it sounds, but
Oh.
that's what they're saying.
Yeah, I'll hit the button. I ain't afraid of that shit.
And the next
welcome
person,
to my show.
and the next person, any of you who want to tell me that gender is a social construct has to tell me where that phrase came from and the two doctors that put it out there. And for bonus points, tell me why they're pieces of shit. Because I can tell you in 2 fucking notes. I've read books on this shit.
Yep. But yeah, for real. Sorry. It's just the way it is.
Hmm.
It's just the way it is.
I
the
think
woke
kindergarten. Go ahead, Lynch.
The
Sorry.
woke folk are praising that with that dude who just I don't know. He was famous for a second. I guess.
Yo, I'm gonna put my foot so deep in Derek's ass the next time I see him. Like, bitch, dude, you don't understand. I have money now that I never had before. I will fly back there right now. I'll take a week off of work just to fly back there and put my
Trust me
foot
when I
deep
tell
in your
you.
ass.
Trust me when I tell you he's on our side of this argument.
Oh, I know he is. I know he is. I'm just fucking with him. But I have the money. I will fly back there and beat your ass.
Yep.
All right. So this kid's name is Dylan Mulvaney.
Oh my God, this guy.
Okay. This guy.
I know.
Oh
So
Christ.
he was a Broadway star. He was in that South Park. The guys who did South Park Broadway show,
The Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon. He was in that. That's
Yes.
about extended his fame. And I guess he has either his TikTok or Instagram. I think it's Instagram. He's been counting the days that he became a woman.
Mm-hmm. Or he says he became a woman.
He was invited to the White House.
Mm-hmm.
What social relevance to me What social relevance does that have to anything that deals with the government?
The answer is it doesn't. And one of the
It
things that
it
pisses me
doesn't.
off. Hold
And
on a
I'm gonna
second.
let Chris. I'm gonna let Chris go while I pee, and I'll come back and answer this as well.
All right. One of the things I hear all the time, and it's starting to drive me nuts. Trans rights are human rights. Well, yes, that's correct. You can live however you want. You still have the same basic human right. My question always is, what right don't you have? And there's never an answer. There's just never an answer. Well,
Well, it's
or
like
it's I don't have the right to use the bathroom I want. That's because you have a dick. You go to the men's room. That's where men go to the bathroom.
It goes to the debates on white privilege as well.
Mhm.
You know, what privilege do you, as any other, let's say, African American, what do I have that you don't have? Because
Exactly.
what I have, you get subsidized,
Right.
so you're getting equal and fair opportunity.
Because you're not a member of that victim society. And it goes to another
And that's
point
how
that I
that,
Go ahead,
ladies
please.
and gentlemen, is how that's supposed to work.
Now, going back to the second point I wanted to make was, I did say, trans rights are human rights. Yes, they are. You don't have it. You haven't lost any rights. You're not having anything taken away from you, except for the fact that you have a dick. You need to use the men's room. That's the way it is. You can't change millions of years of mammalian history just because, man, I feel like a woman. No, that's wrong. Second, when I hear trans women are women, they can't define what actually a woman is. And there it is right on the screen. I typed that out special for this one particular point. What is a woman?
Right.
Well, trans women are women. What is a woman?
For real. Anybody who's watching, answer that shit. For real. What is a woman?
Which the documentary, Matt Walsh's documentary, hit the nail right on the head,
Mhm.
and it just shows the mindset of those people. It's like fairy tale land.
Now, I'm going to look at both of your
And I don't
pictures,
ha-
Ray. Go ahead, please. Sorry.
I can understand your decision. I don't have to accept it, and my reality hasn't changed.
Mhm.
Right.
I watched this. I watched this little thing. It was a Facebook short. The Charlie guy who always talks, Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk, yeah.
Charlie Kirk. Yep.
He had made a comment of something to the effect of, "You can't," about when a trans person changes, they go from Josh to Georgianne, and this girl said, "You got banned off of Twitter because you dead named that same person Dylan or whatever," and he's like, he was at one point this person before he changed to this person. It's like
I got
erasing.
a big problem with
erasing.
that dead name thing. I'm going to be honest.
It's stupid, but
It's erasing history. It's erasing
Right.
history. You cannot
I gotta-
erase history. You
well, wait a
cannot-
minute. Time
you
out,
cannot-
because
You
Go
can't
ahead.
dispute the
I'm
fact
sorry.
that you can't dispute the fact that from ages of birth to 25, your name was Josh. At which time you decided to change your name to Josephine.
and to
is
that
history.
point, to that point,
That person existed at one point in time.
to that point, people say all the time, I was assigned this gender at birth. No, you weren't. You were
Nope.
assigned, if you were an American citizen, born here, raised here, hopefully die here, you were assigned two things at birth. One was a name. The second,
a social security number.
that's it. That's the only two things you were assigned at birth. So we all have the right to go down to City Hall. It is an expensive process depending on what state you're in, and change your name legally. Now, the dead name thing, I think that's stupid. They should come up with a different cutesy phrase
Well,
for it
I-
because
I'm-
it's dumb.
all right.
All it is your former identity.
All right. It's
And
more
it-
than,
to
I think it's
to
more than
deny-
that. Listen.
To deny that you were formerly that person
That's
is a fucking
and that
delusion.
word right there. That word right there is where I'm pulling up. Okay. I did a lot of 12-step program. My dad drank for a while and quite heavily in depth. There was a stage, and no hard feelings. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm a grown man now. I'm not using it as a crutch. But things were rough. But we learned that about denial and what denial was, and that denial is very powerful because it's a lie. and you lie. It's you lying to yourself,
You-
and
as
denying that that whole dead name thing is a complete form of denial, which again leads me to my position that just like alcoholism is a form of mental illness, it's the symptom. It's not
Mhm.
the alcoholism is the symptom of a form of mental illness. All right. There's shit wrong with you and it needs to be fixed and corrected thinking. But that denial of who you were is the same denial that I apply to the person who says they're not an alcoholic.
and you're absolutely right. As somebody
All
who's
right.
gone
So
through rehab,
it's
I can agree
denial
with
is
you.
denial and it's unhealthy. You're denying what you were and who you are, but not who you, rather than who you think you are.
Right. And it's something funny. I learned a couple, like the way you say things as you apply themselves as being an alcoholic. You never say former alcoholic. You are always an
No,
alcoholic.
you're always an alcoholic.
You're
just
always.
you're just sober, or what? Because you also know that there's a difference between a dry drunk and
Yeah.
being drunk.
Yeah.
Or a
It's
functional
but
drunk.
right, and well, I got to think about it personally. Everybody says that pot user, drinker. I think the whole point is to be functional. I think
Yeah.
that's the whole point. When it starts affecting things, that's when it's dysfunctional. When you
Right.
can come home, catch a buzz, have a few beers, you don't beat your wife up, you watch somehow, you know what I mean? You go to work, you're not getting fucked up, you're not falling down the stairs, it's really not fucking your life up. All right, so you just like to drink, but you are technically managing it. When it
Right.
starts affecting relationships, your
It's
work,
out of control.
that's out of control and that's a problem. And that's kind of the whole thing I've based it on is as long as I'm functioning, keeping on my track and doing the good shit, there's nothing wrong with having a beer or two and catching a buzz.
Amen with
And
that.
if anybody has a problem with it, they feel, and Herm, you really got a problem. Tell me. If I'm
Tell
getting
me.
stupid and out of line, let me know. But it's because everybody that I know doesn't say that I am. So
There are people in this world, this guy being one of them, right here, ASMR Assmaster Jones, who fit the description of the recovering alcoholic. Every day, it's a new day. What's the phrase? Just for today.
Just for today.
I'm gonna
And
get by
good,
today.
because you
yeah,
never,
and if it gets and we learned in program that you break that down. Sometimes it's not just for today. Sometimes it's just for this afternoon.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just for the next 2 hours.
Yep.
Sometimes it's for the next 35 minutes. Whatever your situation is, sometimes wherever you are, it's for the next 10 minutes.
But
Because
to,
addiction-
to,
You
Addiction
break
is
it
a
down
funny
as
thing.
small as you need to micromanage it and get through. If I can get through 6 10-minute periods, I got through an hour, bro.
there you go. And to
Yeah.
Lynch's point, you're right. There's no such thing as a former alcoholic or a former drug addict. You are recovering, and that recovery goes on until you draw that last breath, or in some cases you relapse, which nobody wants Lynch to relapse. Let's say that now.
Mhm.
But the recovery process is long and arduous. But you will always be that alcoholic, much like the dude who puts on a dress. I don't care how you want to live your life. I've said it a million times. I have to say it a million more because people are too stupid to understand actual English words. You live your life the way you want. I don't have to lie for you. And I think that's what she's saying in this comment. Sammy is saying a trans woman is just that, a trans woman, a man who carries himself as a woman. Fine, I'll respect them and their lifestyle as I would anyone. But please don't try to convince me biology changes with surgery. It doesn't, because as much as I've joked in the past about a girl who wants to become a guy is going to go get the process known as an addictomy. You're never going to be a man.
Ooh.
Why? Because you don't have testicles. You
sounds
can't produce
nice.
semen. You can't. And a man transitioning surgically to a woman, you can't. Why?
Now,
Because you don't have a uterus. You don't have
there are
ovaries.
those that will, and there are those on the left that will argue that there are people that are born
born.
with born. All right, there are people that are born. Like I'm sounding like Medea right now.
Yeah, you
People
are.
are born with those certain conditions that qualify under what you just said. So does that make them not a man? No, it doesn't. It means there is a defect off of the normal biology. But under normal circumstances, under 90% of the population, these are the conditions that work. And when they don't work in those, it's because of a medical reason that usually we figure it out, not
Mhm.
because somebody made a choice to live as something else.
Say that word again.
Choice.
Choice.
There it is.
Choice.
You're not. Again, it goes back to the circular definition. A trans woman is a woman. What is a woman? No, stop. Until you, and I wanted to do this earlier, but I'm going to do it now. I'm looking behind both of you in your picture. Herm, it's a pretty nice curtain behind you.
Yes.
What is a curtain?
It's a piece of cloth that hangs from a rod that kind of deflects light, filters it, and also decorates a room.
Okay. It's a pretty nice guitar you got behind you, Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
What is a guitar?
Six-string instrument that you play music on.
Can
Oh,
there be
wait.
one with? Can there be one with 12 strings?
They absolutely can.
Okay.
Oh, so wait, so you mean like actual definitions that somebody is confident in putting out and knowing that even if
There's
somebody
some
tries
solid
to
facts
dispute
behind
it,
it.
they're going to sound stupid?
Yes.
Right.
Oh, yeah, they don't do too well with those.
No, not really.
No.
Not too well. And I wish they would. I would
Is it-
love for them to do it because it would back them up and totally push their shit.
Now
But
I know.
they-
Herm,
they
go ahead,
can't.
please. Sorry.
But
No,
they can't.
There's a great sticker on the back of Matt Walsh's laptop every day on his show. It's called the circular definition. It says, a woman is someone who identifies as a woman is someone who identifies as a
Mhm.
woman is, and it just keeps going and
Yep.
going and
Yep.
going because you have to be able to have an answer. You know, what is a microphone headset? Well, it's a headset with a microphone on it. Why isn't this a fish? Because it's not a fucking fish.
Right, because it doesn't have scale. Right, for a myriad of reasons,
Mhm.
but it's not. So
There are people that are still being born every
you
now
can
and
paint
again.
it to look like a fish,
There are people being
but
born
it's not
now.
a fish.
I think they said 1 in every 35 billion people still have that primordial gill behind the ear. That doesn't make them a fish.
Mm-mm.
No. I mean, I've got the whole Cro-Magnon teeth thing. It doesn't make me a fucking caveman. It's
You're a
it's-
Chromac.
yeah. What do we call that? What was the word?
I don't
I'm not a
fucking remember.
Cro-Mag. I don't remember what it was.
I think it was a furback, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was it was
Neanderthal?
something.
No, it
Or-
was
I don't
something.
remember what it
I
was.
said I made something up.
Homo
He
un
did.
erectus.
Yeah, he coined something. He had a moment. It
Oh
was
my
good.
God.
Yeah, I had a
But
clarity.
yeah, like I mean, I've got like the whole extra vertebrae thing and the whole a bunch of shit, but I'm not a caveman. I'm not like Cro-Magnon.
Although I have seen Herm without his shirt on accidentally, he could
I am kind of
could-
furry.
he could qualify as a silverback gorilla.
It's kind of furry
Hey!
up in here. I'm just saying, it's
Oh my
furry.
God. There's
It's
something
furry.
seriously wrong with you.
With us.
Ugh.
So look, if you guys know someone, love someone, or even like somebody even a little bit who could gain something out of the things we've talked about today, share the show. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Click
Hit
the
the
little
like
bell.
button.
Yep.
Hit the
Click
like
the little
button.
bell. It'll tell you when we're live. The audio only version on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you steal
It
your
will be
favorite
up this
podcast
week. I
from.
promise. I promise. I
He's
swear
gonna
to God.
double bump us. We're
Swear
gonna
to
have
God.
just
I'll put
make
the other
sure
one up too.
like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. There's somebody
Yes.
out there that
Yes.
you know that is just as sick as we are, who's sick and tired of the sick shit that's going on out
Yes,
there.
and send money to DJ Big Herm on Venmo, and that would be appreciated too.
Well, what about the rest of us?
I'll drive more Uber.
You can.
Dysfunction Uber.
And also, wait,
Oh, you for
wait,
Uber?
wait.
You
that-
too for
that's-
Uber?
there's a whole business model I got in my head going right now.
I can smell it because I'm thinking of it too.
There's a business model. What? It's a minivan. There's a stripper in there. Sit down. We're going for a ride.
Mhm.
Oh,
We're going a long way around,
Yes, we are.
baby.
Oh, also,
well,
Show ideas. If any of you out there want something heard on this show, you want us to discuss, send
Yep.
it in.
Send it in,
junctiondysfunctionshow@gmail.com. Shut up when I'm giving the address.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You too. Just get married and get it over with.
Junctiondysfunctionshow@gmail.com.
The fuck? Is it legal? It's legal out there.
Nice. What'd you say?
It's legal out there. And
Out here? Yeah, whatever. Does it get me better insurance? Because I'll shack up with you, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, it's countrywide now. What's his nuts? Obama had it voted on. Got the 66% vote. You can be gay and get married anywhere.
Dude, do I get better insurance if I have a husband and a wife? What's going on?
Have you
with
ever
that?
watched Chuck and Larry? Jesus Christ!
Oh yeah,
I
that's
love
what
that. I
I'm.
love that
That's
movie.
why I'm saying. How good does it get if I have a husband and a wife?
What is your insurance like? Well, that's Utah. You got to move one state over.
What is insurance?
Oh,
Oh Lord,
all right, gentlemen.
What is a Fresca?
Oh,
it's
what is
like a
Fresca?
Pepsi Mango but different.
What is a Fresca?
Mango? Ooh, I didn't know they did that.
Check it out. Walmart Lisbon. Go get yourself some before they run out. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. These gentlemen, somebody will come up with a topic.
We'll figure it
Somebody,
out.
we'll discuss. We'll have some shit to talk
We'll
about.
figure it out.
Oh,
my
my God.
Bassmaster Deluxe. Good night,
This
everybody.
is why we can't have nice things.
Precisely.
You sleep soundly in your beds tonight. Judgment